It was a cheap way to go racing without building a special body. My name is Dennis Varney. I came here in 1964 the first time in a hot rod, and I have the wonderful hat. It's the 200-mile-an-hour hat, and there's a small group of us that are in this club, and you have to break a record over 200 miles an hour to get in.
Well, I have many heroes. I have heroes up here like Don Vesco.
Vesco Terminator Streamliner, number 111.
In the class of Lakesters, you can't cover the wheels. If you cover the wheels, then you become a streamliner. With the type of motor they had with a blower and fuel, they went 280 miles an hour. They were the world's fastest open-wheel Lakester.
This was it. This is Mecca. If you fool with cars and you like noise and color and ingenuity, this is the place to be on the whole planet, especially this week. Being the 50th anniversary of Bonneville, it's a real special year, and they started racing here in 1949, and a lot of guys came up from Southern California.
It started out the first, I think, known stuff. They had some races in the early teens.
Bonneville is really like the granddaddy of them all. Muroc Dry Lake and El Mirage Dry Lake.
Back in the back here, Jim Lattin has been gracious enough to bring up the very first car that ran up here back in 1949 and set records.
Generation after generation of racer families that father, son, and grandson race here.
This is very esoteric racing for most people, because it is by yourself, because it's a straightaway racing.
I'll tell you another thing is there's a lot more lady drivers lately and lady riders. There's a couple of gals riding motorcycle that are doing real well. There's a few gals out here that have gone 300 miles an hour and more.
If you're looking at raw speed, you had 3 or 4 people running well over 600 miles an hour, 25, 30 years ago. And it's a different form of racing because those cars were turbines or they're jets or they were rockets. But now, whereas these are all wheel-driven, piston-driven automobiles, it's a lot more difficult to make these cars go fast than to have a 4-wheel blowtorch that goes 400 miles or 500 miles an hour.
And came along the middle 30s, some of the car manufacturers would come out and they were running on the sand.
They were tired of racing in the dirt, which down in Southern California they race on dry lake beds and it's very dusty. And they discovered this place and they got permission to use it where there was absolutely no dust. They race on Bonneville here, I believe, 4 times a year. This is the Speedweek and it's the main biggest one. It's like the Indy 500 of land speed racing.
And the injector there fired it up.
And they have 2 courses. They have a short course and a long course.
Bonneville Speedweek. This is the big one. Biggest event of the year on the Bonneville. Racing wheels.
You run down the course. They have established records or have minimum speeds that you have to go. You go and you make a run, and if you beat that, you have to go to impound and have your car checked out to make sure that it meets all the classifications. And they'll usually go the very next morning, very early, and they get taken down to the starting line under scrutiny, and then they make their return run. And if they best the old record, I think it's by 2%, then they get a record. But you can go out and go real fast one way, and you try the return run, and if something goes wrong, it doesn't count.
The long course is 5 miles of race course with 2 miles of shutoff. Where the short course is 3 miles of race course with 2 miles of shutoff.
They have different license requirements. You have to drive to 150 miles an hour first, then go to 175, and then it bumps up like that. So you just can't go out and drive as fast as you want.
So the long course is a total of 7 miles. And they're marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you see that 5-mile sign on the long course, that's when you shut off, pull your parachute, and get out of it.
I'm Gene Brooklyn, and I'm one of the owners or builders and I that did the project. Tom and my wife drove the 75 Datsun that we had. This is the 3rd car that we built for our family's run, and it's a twin-engine 4-wheel drive streamliner. Runs AA blown fuel, and the record that we're after is 409 miles an hour. It's just kind of been a family dream, and no matter what you do, it seems like you need to go a little bit faster next time.